Good morning, students. Let us continue with the next topic of chapter number 18, body fluids and circulation. Next topic is ECG, electrocardiograph. You are probably familiar with the scene from a typical hospital television show. A patient is hooked up to a monitoring machine that shows voltage traces on the screen and makes the sound pip as the patient goes into the cardiac arrest. This type of machine, electrocardiograph, is used to obtain an electrocardiogram, that is ECG. ECG is a graphical representation of the electrical activity of the heart during cardiac cycle. To obtain a standard ECG as shown in the figure 18.3, a patient is connected to a machine with three electrical leads, one to each wrist and one to the left ankle, that continuously monitor the heart activity. For a detailed evaluation of heart's function, multiple leads are attached to the chest region. Here we will talk only about a standard ECG. We can see the ECG and have the three kinds of peak: peak P, peak QRS and peak T. Each peak in the ECG is identified with a letter from P to T that corresponds to a specific electrical activity of the heart. See, the P waves represent the electrical excitation of the atria, that is T polarization of the atria, which leads to the contraction of both the atria, that is atrial systole. Then the QRS complex represents the depolarization of ventricles, which initiates the ventricular contraction. The contraction starts shortly after Q and marks the beginning of the systole. The T wave represents the return of the ventricles from excited to normal state, that is repolarization. The end of the T wave marks the end of the systole. Obviously, by counting the number of QRS complexes that occur in a given time period, one can determine the heartbeat rate of an individual. Since the ECG obtained from different individuals have roughly the same shape for a given lead configuration, any deviation from this shape indicates a possible abnormality or disease. Hence, it is of great clinical significance. Double circulation. The blood flows strictly by a fixed route through blood vessels, the arteries and the veins. Basically, each artery and vein consist of three layers: an inner lining of a squamous endothelium known as tunica intima, a middle layer of smooth muscles and elastic fibers called tunica media, and the external layer of fibrous connective tissues known as tunica externa, which consists of collagen fibers also. The tunica media is comparatively thin in the veins. As mentioned earlier, the blood pumped by the right ventricle enters the pulmonary artery, where the left ventricle pumps blood into the aorta. The deoxygenated blood pumped into the pulmonary artery is passed on to the lungs, from where the oxygenated blood is carried by pulmonary veins into the left atrium. This pathway constitutes the pulmonary circulation. The oxygenated blood entering the aorta is carried by a network of arteries, arterioles, and capillaries to the tissues, from where the deoxygenated blood is collected by a system of venules, veins, and vena cava and emptied into the right atrium. This is the systematic circulation. So, two circulations are there, pulmonary and systemic, hence known as double circulation. The systemic circulation provides nutrients, oxygen, and other essential substances to the tissues and takes CO2 and other harmful substances away for elimination. A unique vascular connection exists between the digestive tract and liver called hepatic portal system. The hepatic portal vein carries blood from intestine to the liver before it is delivered to the systemic circulation. A special coronary system of blood vessels is present in our body exclusively for the circulation of blood to and from the cardiac musculature. So these two systems we have to कीप इन माइंड, एक हेपेटिक पोर्टल सिस्टम और दूसरा कोरोनरी आर्टरी. Okay, coronary is meant for heart while hepatic portal system is meant for liver. Now in the diagram we can see the blood circulation in human, how first loop forms the pulmonary circulation, the lower loop forms the systemic circulation, and hence the circulation of blood is known as double circulation in human. Next is regulation of cardiac activities. It is the most important topic. Although heart is self-regulated organ, it is auto-excitable also, but then also it is regulated by several mechanisms in our body. Normal activities are regulated intrinsically, that is by heart only. It is auto-regulated by special muscles, nodal tissues, SAN and AVN. Hence the heart is myogenic. A special neural center in medulla oblongata can moderate the cardiac function through autonomic nervous system, that is ANS. Neural signals through the sympathetic nerves, that is part of ANS, can increase the rate of heartbeat, strength of ventricular contraction, and thereby cardiac output. On the other hand, parasympathetic neural signals, another component of ANS, decrease the rate of heartbeat, speed of conduction of action potential, and thereby cardiac output. Adrenal medullary hormones can also increase the cardiac output. Disorders of circulatory system. High blood pressure, the most common disorder which we can see in every third individual nowadays. High blood pressure is also known as hypertension. Hypertension is the term for blood pressure that is higher than the normal. Normal is 120 and 80. In the measurement, 120 is systolic pressure or pumping pressure, while 80 is diastolic or resting pressure. If an individual has 140 by 90 continuously or repeatedly, then it is considered to be the higher pressure and it shows the condition of hypertension. High blood pressure leads to heart diseases and also affects vital organs like brain and kidney. Coronary artery disease, CAD. It often refers to as atherosclerosis that affects the vessels that supply blood to the heart muscle. It is caused by the deposits of calcium, fat, cholesterol, and fibrous tissues. It makes the lumen of the arteries narrower, and hence this is a very dangerous disease, because if the lumen gets narrower, then the blood circulation is affected adversely. Angina. It is also called as angina pectoris. A symptom of acute chest pain appears when not enough oxygen is reaching to the muscles of the heart. Angina can occur in men and women at any age, but it is more common among the middle-aged and elderly. It occurs due to the conditions that affect the blood flow. Heart failure. It means the state of heart when it is not pumping blood effectively enough to meet the needs of the body. It is sometimes called congestive heart failure because congestion of the lungs is one of the main symptoms of this disease. Heart failure is not the same as cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest में सिर्फ हार्ट बीट करना स्टॉप कर देता है, पर हार्ट अटैक जब हार्ट मसल्स अचानक से डैमेज हो जाते हैं तो हार्ट अटैक इज अगेन डिफरेंट. कार्डियक अरेस्ट भी अलग है और हार्ट फेलियर इज ऑल्सो डिफरेंट. हार्ट फेलियर इज अ स्टेट कि जब हार्ट पंप करना ही बंद कर रहा है, बीट्स मिस नहीं कर रहा है, वो बिल्कुल स्टॉप ही कर रहा है अपना वर्किंग.